Hello everyone and welcome back to another podcast on this channel. If you're new, hi, my name is Bhairavi. I've been traveling for about 11 years now and this is kind of my job. Oh, by the way, I'm not holding my mic, I just have it here. So this podcast is about traveling and telling you the real truth of traveling. And today's episode is about solo female traveling experience. I have been traveling solo for about 11 to 12 years now. The first 5 of those were in India. Not so solo to be honest, but for the past 6 years I've definitely been traveling the world solo. I'm sorry, let me turn my phone silent. Well, solo traveling as a female is very different as compared to traveling with a man. Obviously, I feel like I need a mic or something here because I'm not holding my mic. Okay, let me just hold this in my hands. Okay, now when you're traveling with males, the attention is so much different, meaning you don't get the attention because you're kind of safe for the other person. They perceive you as being safe, or like oh, this one is with a guy, it's okay, we don't touch her. But when you're traveling solo, it's like, wow, yeah, the world is your oyster, or the world thinks you're the pearl and they're just out to get you. Now, I did not face any horrible experiences while traveling so far, but it has been quite interesting, the journey. By the way, I'm not using any artificial light today. I wanted the pink background light to shine. So just let me know, what do you guys think about this setup? Do you want it to be brighter, or this moody lighting is nice? I just wanted everything to be pink because it's a solo female traveling episode. Okay, so I do practice the basics of when you're traveling solo. Of course, I try my best to not go out at night, to be honest, in all these destinations, and I make sure to have my phone on me, be safe, like you do the basic stuff. Now, I'm based out of Singapore, so of course pepper spray and things like that are not legal in Singapore, so I can't carry pepper spray. I know, revelation, right? That's so weird. Like, what? So how are you supposed to protect yourself? By your brain, by the mighty power of your brain. So yeah, I just use common sense, but I have had instances and incidents happen with me, not so dangerous, but I hope by me sharing these with you, you won't have these happen to you, because hey, we all want to be safe out there. So to give a background, again, if it's your first episode, I've been to almost all continents. I've been to Australia all alone. Australia, of course, Asia. I've been to Russia even. Russia was not alone though. I've been to Europe. I've been to America. I've even been to South Africa, not alone. Again, I would not go alone there. I feel like, I don't know, some countries I would not go alone, but I travel to all these countries because of my work. So that's that. Now, about the safety, okay, I don't even know where to begin. It's been a while since I've done this podcast, by the way, so I'm like a little bit rusty. So anyway, the classic thing is, oh, I'm gonna find love when abroad, right? Well, that kind of started happening with me when I was in New York. I have vlogged this live, so you can watch my New York vlog to find out. That was the first few times I went to New York. I went to the Met. I was living my Gossip Girl dreams, thinking, wow, this is amazing. I'm at the Met steps, and there was this guy. So I was alone, right? I was taking pictures, and then in America, people are very open to talk to you, and they would talk to strangers very openly, be it at a restaurant. Some people might like it. To me, I have started to dislike it, and I don't even live there yet. But for me and my little Asian brain, I just want to stay in my little Asian social bubble where we are nice to each other, but we don't just talk. Like when you step into a lift, I don't want to say hello to you. Just stay in your bubble, I'll stay in my bubble. We'll act like we don't know each other, which is the truth. We don't need to have small talk between 3 floors. I do not appreciate that culture. I'm sorry. It might be very nice and polite. I don't like it. So especially when I go to America and when you go to New York, for me personally, I feel like I am with everyone because everybody speaks to you so much, where it's like you just can't have your personal space anymore, and I do not like that. But of course, it's their culture. It's very sweet as well. So I was just taking pictures of myself. I asked these 2 girls to take a picture of me. By the way, quick hack when you're traveling alone, always ask teenage girls to take your pictures. For me, the possibility of them stealing your phone is less. They know how to take good pictures according to the current time, and you will get good options. So I was taking my pictures. I asked these girls to take my picture. Then this man came out of nowhere and he's like, "Can you help me take a picture?" I was like, "Sure." I took his picture. He said, do you want me to take your picture? I said, no, it's okay. And then he started giving me this look where he thought he is Shah Rukh Khan, reincarnated himself. It was a white man. And he's like, are you new here? I said, yeah, I'm a tourist. Which you should lie. In a lot of these instances, you should lie. But I was just about to leave. Like, I did not expect this to happen. I was just about to leave. And he said, how long are you here for? I said, I'm leaving tomorrow. Oh, what a shame. Like, he tried to do those eyes and like try to flirt with me. And I was like, bye. I need to go meet my friend. So number one thing to do when you're a solo female traveler is lie. Just lie your whereabouts, lie where you stay, lie. Now, at this point, I have like stories where I'm like, oh no, my friends are just there. I live there. And now I've traveled so much in these places where I sort of know the neighborhoods. I have the privilege of knowing basic neighborhoods. So if anybody asks, I can just say, yeah, I live there. They'll be like, oh, where there? Well, next to this store. Like, I know the basics, but I would never share which hotel I'm staying at or wherever I am. I'm never alone. If anybody asks, my friends are always coming, or my friends are just in the bathroom, or I'm about to meet up with my friends, or I'm on the phone looking at where my friends are, So you're never alone when you're traveling as a female. And you can be like, oh, feminism, I don't need to lie. Well, we don't try feminism in other countries. We'll try it in our country where we are comfortable, okay? No offense, though. No offense. I'm all for feminism. Then, so that was New York. New York, I'm always wary of. It's always good to read the news before traveling somewhere, what's been happening lately. Now, thanks to TikTok or all the social media, you already know what's been happening in these countries. So like in New York recently, women were just getting slapped. Just random people were slapping women. Then there's been a lot of gun violence there in the subway and everything. So I have adopted what some people might call an RBF. It's called a resting bitch face. And you just look perpetually annoyed. So for me, that could be without makeup and just... I don't naturally have a bitchy face. I've realized this. I've tried a lot at work, but I just can't do it. People say no. So I just look annoyed. So I just make sure if I'm walking alone, in America especially, I would just have this face, no makeup, just look like you are just not in a good condition right now, so nobody will approach you. Because I was in LA. I think I've shared this in a vlog, I don't know yet, but I was in LA. Oh, maybe I shared it in the racism podcast. Just check it out. Very interesting stories. So it was me and another girl. So it's two of us even then. And he just spit at us. We were crossing the road. He spit at us and he just told us to get the hell out of here. I don't know if he was sexist, racist, or he just didn't like people in general. But these things happen. These things happen. We had makeup on our face. We couldn't wash it off. It was very disgusting, guys. Keep wipes with you all the time. But things like this happen when you're traveling solo. So that was America, right? Just have the RBF ready. A lot of people are going to talk to you. If you go to a bar or whatever, you think the bartender is interested in you, the restaurant, the waiter is interested in you. They just want tips. America runs on tips. So everybody is extra nice to you at a restaurant or a bar because they want a good hefty tip. So don't just think this is going to be American love. Let's be realistic, people. There are 1.7 billion people in my country, India, and you'll probably find somebody from there, which is great. Okay, so let's just not have these ideas in our head. If you want, do it, but be safe, please. So that's America. Let's move over to Europe. London. Mostly London has been challenging when it comes to theft, not about female solo traveling. However, you would assume that, oh, we need to protect ourselves from the men. No, that's not the truth. This story is so bizarre. I don't know if I want to share this. I wouldn't be able to monetize this episode now. I guess I'll just share it. Okay, so you might think that it's the men you need to be scared of. No, women are quite ahead, if not equal, to men. And that's what happened in London with me. So I was in London. I was going to meet a friend. I took the bus, and generally I find buses to be more safe because they're not underground. Like, I can see outside. If something was to happen, I can just jump out. I don't know, that's just me. So I was in the bus, and London usually is just a theft. They might steal your phone, they might steal your bag, so just keep it protected. Another episode coming on travel theft and how to be safe from it, because this is my second phone because the first one got stolen. Yeah. So I get in the bus, and London has a lot of these very cute old ladies who look like very cute and cuddly and like harmless, right? And they would talk to you and be like, oh, hello, my dear, and everything. It's very cute. So a lady like that came over. I was sitting in the bus, or I sat next to her, and I had my AirPods in. And although I had AirPods in, maybe she didn't realize or whatever, she started speaking to me. I'm Indian. London, I feel like at this point, half of them are brown people. So it's not like, oh, I'm so rare in London, right? So I sat next to her and she's like, oh, where you from? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, India. And she seemed harmless. So I did start talking to her. I didn't lie. I tried to cut the conversation as much as I can, but still I didn't want to be impolite. So I was like, okay, yeah. Then I started putting my earphones in. And then she just sort of forcefully started telling me her life story, how she was married to an Indian man who saved her, because before that she had been R-worded by her father and then her brother, and then this man saved her, and now she works at the Red Cross. It was a very weird story which I knew was leading up to something until her stop suddenly came and she got off. Now to me, why would you share that story with just a total stranger you're not gonna meet, you don't have any need or whatever? Maybe she had so much of the story in her where she wanted to share it. But I have friends who are local. I shared it with them and they were horrified, and they said, no, this is not normal. I hope you're safe, and I hope she didn't steal anything. Because in London, the common thing is they might talk to you about all this and then just steal your phone while you're like so engrossed in the story. So again, as a solo female traveler, females, we are used to being very empathetic, good listener. We will listen, we'll be like, oh, okay. If it's a man, you're automatically like, oh no, safety. But if it's an old woman, you would be like, oh, so sweet, oh, poor her. But don't lose like a sense of where you are, what's happening with you. Her stop suddenly came, but I felt like that story was leading to something, so I had to be like, okay, and I was like ready to change my seat, but then her stop came, so that it was fine. But things like that happen as a solo female traveler. People just think you're an easy target to have a conversation with. Now it's sad that I'm saying you're an easy target for a conversation. It could just be a conversation, but in today's day and age, you can never be too sure, especially when you're solo. Like, I know we think this is my one chance, but this could also be the one chance when something bad happens. Touch wood, I hope it won't, but just be realistic whenever you're traveling. Yeah, I'm not here to scare you. Like, I managed out of this situation, out of all these situations, but just don't just be clueless. Don't have like your rose-colored glasses on thinking this is a Bollywood movie. This is reality. Even in Queen, she was very lucky to meet nice people, which most of the time you will. But once you travel so much, you might find some of these weird characters, and you can't be too careful, right? Now, especially countries like Europe, where there is so much tourist flow, you are bound to find tourist traps. Again, that can be another video. But as a solo traveler in Europe, I felt safe, but when it comes to my bag and my phone, no. So you need to be careful of that. Otherwise, as a female solo traveler, I avoid going out at night. If there are places that are too crowded, I would not use my phone. But otherwise, the kind of dangers that we face in our country, sad to say that's only in our country. I've never felt that kind of a danger of like, oh my god, what can happen to me. In other countries, again, things still happen, especially in America. So you have to be very, very safe in America. I don't like when we travel, we feel like, oh, the rules don't apply here. We can just wear whatever we want, do whatever we want. But I am highly against that. To me, unless you're traveling with somebody, but if you're traveling by yourself, I would highly recommend don't come out to be so like, don't appear to be so flashy. And a lot of these men will try to talk to you, try to be like, oh, like, are you traveling alone? They can tell who's traveling alone. They've been doing this for a while. So just try to not appear so shiny. Meanwhile, I'm here shiny AF. But do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, there are weird people out there. I'm not trying to scare you. Just be normal. Have travel as your priority. Of course, you can look cute, but don't miss the practicality aspect. Now, this is just my rule. Whenever I am in other countries, especially America, I don't know why I always have pants on. I just feel like with a dress or a skirt, I'm just not as agile. This is very weird, but I rarely wear dresses on my excursion. Europe, maybe I'll wear a dress, but I don't know why in America I always wear jeans, or even if I wear a dress, it'll be like shorts inside or rompers. I don't know why, but I just want to be agile. I don't know, it's very weird. Please do not wear heels when you're traveling. In Europe, you're going to have cobblestone streets, which if you do not know are the streets where they're like thick stones. I wore my boots and I forgot they have heels in them. Guys, I died within 10 minutes. You can't walk on those streets with heels. So I know the photos of these girls wearing heels in Europe or all these countries is very cute. Not sustainable. I saw this influencer's video on the Brooklyn Bridge wearing a dress and heels. Guys, you can't do that. The Brooklyn Bridge is full of so many people trying to scam you. There's so many tourists there. You have to walk so much. It's hot. And if it's not hot, it's going to be very cold and windy. And it's actually like wooden slabs with gaps in between. If you're wearing heels there, good luck to you. Even the metro there, I was there with my best friend, and a guy acted like he dropped something. So we looked back, and then he started cornering us, and then we just ran from there. And we were two. So in these areas, please just be agile. I would say you can wear heels, but you're going to be highly uncomfortable unless you're going for a dinner, or you're going to like, oh, we're going on this tour. But usually I would recommend just wear pants, wear shoes. I might sound so like conservative and like dakyanusi right now, but I would highly recommend just be agile as a female solo traveler. Don't have your cutesy little bags. Have a bag with a water bottle. You can have your phone and everything, and hide it inside a jacket. You have to think of the practicality. I know the videos look very cute with the girlies wearing okay, I did wear a long skirt when I was in Europe recently. I was in Italy. It was amazing. But I had a big trench coat on top of me. So my pockets had the trench coat, or my bag was inside my jacket. So you have to be careful of that, because these things, as a solo girly traveler, you have to be careful, because you cannot depend on someone else. You have to be dependent on you. You must know when shops and everything closes. Like in Europe, they have a siesta hour where everything will be shut, right? And at night, especially like in Australia, the shops close very early. So you don't want to be out in a deserted street, nowhere to go, and there are druggies walking around. Again, the druggie situation, you don't see that much in your own city, I feel like, because you know in your city where to go, where not to go. But when you're in a different country, you don't know that. Now, if you didn't know all of this, you just didn't know all of this, right? And if you're going to a place once, the probability of something bad happening to you is close to none, because you're not going there so often. I travel to these countries so much that now I'm facing all the mishaps. I even made a story time recently where we've traveled so much that now me and my family, when we travel as well, we are facing a lot of mishaps, because I think we've traveled a lot that we're reaching that point now. The probability is getting there. So none of this might happen to you, but it's always good to be safe than sorry, right? I want you to have a great time when you're traveling, but I don't want you to be just clueless in your own world. All of our Bollywood movies seem amazing, but let's come back to reality when we're traveling. Tell people your location at all times. In a lot of these countries like Europe, you might think like, oh, it's very modern, you'll get network everywhere. No, a lot of the times you won't. The trains might have Wi-Fi, but then there would be patches where the Wi-Fi doesn't work. You don't have money. What are you going to do? I was in Seattle. I was at a museum. I wanted to go to the museum, but I did not have cash on me and my card was not working. I asked these fellow Indian family, can you please send me money and I'll UPI it back to you. I have someone on the phone who can UPI it back to you. And I don't blame them. They did not give me the money. They said, we don't have UPI. Obviously, they were lying. Like, everyone has UPI. But hey, I don't blame them. If a random girl is asking you for money, that becomes a story time video. Like I just did. Yeah, I was very desperate and I wanted to go. Anyway, ultimately, my card did work. So that was okay. But you can never be too safe. A lot of the times, girls might have the thing of, if someone's smiling at you, you're like, Don't be like that. Don't be too smiley. Don't be too like chirpy, too nice. Hi, hello. Don't be like that. You need to appear to be somebody who cannot be messed with. Don't be like, hi. You can't be like that, which I am a lot of the times. But as I said, my USA face is just perpetually, you're just annoyed, always annoyed. Just have that face so people know that can't mess with her. And a lot of the times now, since I've traveled so much, I've sort of understood the aesthetic of the country, so I'll dress like it. Like when you're in Europe, you whatever you wear, put a white shirt on top, white oversized shirt, jeans, skirt, top, whatever. You look like you live there. New York or USA, you wear jeans, you wear comfy clothes, not too flashy. You look like this person is from here, so nobody's gonna bother because they're like, maybe this one's not a tourist. She won't be fooled so easily. So you should know, like, even if you're gonna go out at night, do that stuff, know this stuff, like dress like the locals so they don't think that, oh, that's a tourist. Like, don't be screaming, hi, I'm a tourist, come fool me, you know, things like that. But generally, traveling as a solo female, I haven't taken a lot of challenges where I would go to these challenging destinations which are dangerous for women. For me, that is not an adventure that excites me. I go to normal cities. Like in America, I went from New York to Philadelphia with 3 other people, and the experience was a bit scary. We were in the train, and then these teen and tween, like 12 to 14-year-old children came, and then they started throwing like patake in the train. And just recently some gun violence had happened in the train, so we were horrified. And of course we were the only non-Americans there, so they were sort of like trying to tease us, and I was very, very, very scared. So I would not travel in America in the trains from here to there like alone. This time I was with people and I was still scared. So just know your options. Like after that experience, when I was in Seattle, I just took the cab, and I am willing to pay more for my safety. So in that sense, you need to choose what you want. I would rather be safe than sorry. I was speaking to my driver and I asked him, there are a lot of homeless people in America, and as I said, one spit at me. I've had instances where they would shout at you. If I see them on the street, I would just not go on the street because I don't want another spitting happening at me. So I asked the driver, what's the situation like? He seemed like a young guy. So his advice was, he said, this is the same thing I tell my girlfriend. He said, my girlfriend is too nice. She would always, like, if somebody says hi, she would say hi back. She would be nice to them. But to the homeless people or the people who are just not in the correct state of mind, you can't be, especially when you're alone. He uses analogy. He said they are like pets. Like, you look at a pet, they will look back at you, think that you want something or you're going to give them food or whatever. He said to these homeless people or these weird people, if you look at them, make eye contact, they're going to think you're talking to them. So their reaction could be that they would try to fight back, try to spit at you or do something like that. Mind you, the one that spit at us, we did not do anything. We were just ignoring him. But anyway, that's what the driver's advice was. Just don't look at them. If you pass by these weird kind of people, somebody saying, excuse me, just pass by them. I think if you come from India, you are kind of used to that and you would be able to handle that. But you would be surprised when we go to another country and we think, oh, they'll be nicer there. No. So just make sure to have your Indian survival mentality and Indian instincts on whenever you travel abroad, and you'll be fine. Like for me, all of these instances were not like, oh my god, horrifying, I am traumatized. No, because we come from India and we are trained very well. In fact, I said I won't go out in Africa alone because I don't know the city, and again, there's a lot of, how do I say this, like, I saw at the mall, guns are not allowed, so I guess people do carry guns. So it's just the guns that are scary to me, but the customer service in Africa is amazing. We go to Johannesburg and I love it there. I love it there. I would much rather go there to a mall and something and feel safe than in other countries, trust me. But yeah, Australia, I've not had a lot of instances, but it's just that Australia shuts down very fast, like very early, so you need to be careful of that. But otherwise it's fine. You'll see a lot of people going out at night in Australia, but when the streets get deserted, I go back to my room. So yeah, just make sure to choose your safety over saving a few dollars here and there. Sometimes you pay more, but you are safe and your family is happy at home. And yeah, now this podcast was not so long because, to be honest, about female solo traveling, it's all about, be it female or male, it's all about just being alert. But when it comes to theft And scams while traveling, hey, that sees no gender, to be honest. That doesn't see if you are flashy or not. I mean, a little bit it does, but there are lots of stories of that. So I think that's going to be my next podcast, talking about theft and scams when traveling, because I've seen plenty. I'm very happy to my senior colleagues who told me, this is a scam, don't go there. This is a scam, don't go there. Trust me, I've never been scammed in India. Yeah, but I've been scammed in other countries, and that is another story in itself. So I will see you in another episode talking about it. Before this, I posted a video about how I travel as a vegetarian abroad. I've been to Japan, China as a vegetarian, and it's not easy. So do make sure to watch that podcast. I made a video about racism when traveling abroad, which was a whole another thing which I never imagined to experience to the degree that I did, and that was mind-boggling and a new challenge that I had to learn how to do. All of this stuff, it's normal, like traveling as a woman, blah blah blah, you experience that in your country, but the racism, you can only experience that when you're alone in another country. So that was like, whoa, what a whole another world. So yeah, I hope you're finding these podcasts to be entertaining. Yes, I did take a break in the middle because I went home with my family. I was in Bangalore. I traveled to Mysore. It was amazing there. I posted a story time about that. But the traveling continues. Rest is needed. The work was crazy for a while, so that's why I had to take a little pause. But I am back now and ready to post more. I hope you guys are excited to watch a lot more of these vlogs, and I will see you in my next video. Take care, stay safe, and go travel. Bye-bye.